And then there's the one. Hello everybody, it is me, Alex the Hunted, and it's time for yet another Titans Movie Talks. And today we are talking about X-Men Days of Future Past. I know it's a bit delayed, but we all have lives outside of this. We don't just do stuff for you. Anyway, so I am Alex the Hunted of always, and I am of course joined by, roll call please.
Jack.
Austin calling in loud and what? Everybody at once.
One at a time, please. Don't pause, say your damn name.
I'm Lewis. Jack is back.
Austin coming in loud and clear.
Okay, right. So yeah, we have all seen X-Men: Days of Future Past, and if we go straight to it, did you like the movie?
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
Yay! We all like the movie. Did you think it was a good telling of the Days of Future Past storyline?
I have no intel on the Days of Future Past storyline, so I cannot say.
I have seen many interpretations of that story other than the comic book, and I will say this is an interesting take. Not the best, but definitely a good one from the movies.
Yeah. Yeah. What it was trying to do.
I would say the same as well, because Days of Future Past storyline is one of the most complicated storylines in comic books in general. It's literally a comic book storyline that technically is still going on to this day. With
Time travel.
Yeah.
Confusing.
So putting it to screen, to the big screen, and making it understandable for the rest of the audience would be incredibly hard to do. But it's not like the perfect retelling of the story. But for the actual storyline itself, it's a good movie. It's a fine movie.
Especially with that big of a cast.
Yeah,
yes.
They had the best man to do it, Bryan Singer. He did the best of the X-Men films.
Would you say it's the best superhero film this year so far? Because I would say it's tied with Captain America.
I'd say it's better.
I prefer that.
I would have to think on that for a while because I really enjoyed Captain America, and I'm definitely looking forward to the other films. But so far, I would say it's in my top 5.
Yeah. Definitely better than Amazing Spider-Man 2, we can all agree.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
God, that movie still sucks.
No kidding.
He's gonna buy it on Blu-ray.
Well, anyway.
The soundtrack wasn't bad-ish.
What, to Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, it was.
The dubstep was iff-ish. I mean, I'm not a big fan of dubstep, but I kind of like the parts with
the dubstep.
Electro. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of, I thought the soundtrack for this Days of Future Past was not the best, but it was pretty good. I thought, at least.
It wasn't my main focus. I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of movie music, and I didn't really pay attention to this one.
No.
Wolverine and First Class had a better soundtrack, I think.
I actually think X-Men 2 did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of all of them, I remember X2's theme the most, and it's still one of my favorites.
Yeah. Less said. Actually, speaking of the previous X-Men, but anyway, so as we're speaking about X-Men: Days of Future Past, the good point. Let's get we liked the cast. Very good. No, I don't think a single member of the cast gave a bad performance. Even some of the ones that just had tiny roles. I mean, they got Uma Thurman.
Like Quicksilver.
Like Quicksilver, not Uma Thurman. Halle Berry to reprise as Storm, and she's a huge actress, and they don't give her that many lines, but she does perfectly fine in this movie. Like I know they said they had to cut down a lot of it. They had to stop some of her scenes because she got pregnant while they were filming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I was scared for a second because they actually said that they cut her scene out of the movie and then they put it back.
Yeah. Which actually, speaking of which, that kind of was a problem with the trailers for Days of Future Past because they pretty much show every single scene with Storm in. Like as soon as you and they pretty much show what happens to her. Like
pretty much, we all knew it was coming.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. The cast was really, really good. It's and I'm gonna have to pull up the IMDb because I'm terrible with names. But you're saying.
Who are you thinking of?
I think probably the actual best actor in this was who played Charles, not Patrick Stewart.
James
McAvoy.
James McAvoy. He did the best performance.
It was fantastic.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy him. His acting.
yes, he did pull off the basically broken Charles. He just pulled it off so well. Like, he was so good. And let's see, Hugh Jackman, as always, he's pretty much is Wolverine. I mean, he's getting. I do have a few. Hugh Jackman, apart from he looks really too old. He's starting to look a bit too old now.
That's why they are talking about an old man Wolverine, old man Logan. So I guess we wouldn't have to worry about makeup and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you don't know. They might have to. I don't know what they would do because he is kind of owned the role, but they would eventually have to recast him eventually.
It's kind of like
it's
kind of like the thing with the Joker. It's they're gonna have to recast him at a point, but you don't. But it's just like it's like getting blood stained in the water. You don't know what's gonna happen with it.
And you kind of feel sorry for the guy who's going to take up the role because he has a huge I fear
he's
for
got
the
shoes to fill.
I fear for the guy who takes over Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Ooh, let's not think about that right now. One step at a time.
I don't think they're going to do that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Give it like 20 years, maybe.
There's also this movie did something really good, which was Peter Dinklage. His character in the comics isn't a midget, but they said Peter Dinklage is a fine actor. Why the hell does the size be a factor in this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kind of don't even take notice of the fact that he's like, short and stuff.
Yeah.
He's been in about everything when you think about it.
But it's a good stepping, it's a good stepping stone for short actors to not just get roles in like Snow White or something like that.
Or Leprechaun.
Well, they didn't even do that in the last Snow White movie.
Was he in the last Snow White movie?
The Snow White and the Huntsman.
I stayed away from that one.
They didn't cast any midgets as the Seven Dwarves. They just got stuff like what's his name? God, this is my shock. I love films, but I can't remember anyone's name.
Was it good?
No, it had Christian Stewart was Snow White. What do you think?
The human mannequin, the really living mannequin.
Yeah. But yeah, it's but it's saying Peter Dinklage, he's a damn good actor as well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's great that they actually just cast someone. Didn't matter about his size, and really, as you're saying, everyone. I'd say the best actors were James McAvoy, Peter Dinklage, and maybe Jennifer Aniston. I'm not so sure.
Lawrence, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
she's my favorite.
Yeah.
Who do you think on the opposite side of that? Who do you think was the worst actor?
Worst. I'm not going to say Hugh Jackman because he was fine. He was perfectly fine.
He played Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
One of the older cast members, I thought.
Really? I thought Patrick Stewart.
Really?
I thought Patrick Stewart.
Not those lot. I mean, like either
Patrick, Ian, Halle. They did an okay job.
The guy who played Richard Nixon, I would say was probably the worst. But it wasn't bad.
I didn't take that seriously, and I didn't think they wanted you to.
It wasn't bad. It was just that like that sketch show version of Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They need to make it. They need to make him recognizable. That's the thing.
Yeah. I will say this. Even though the design for Quicksilver was terrible,
awful,
he was very good in the 15 minutes he was in.
Yeah,
I was extremely shocked.
Yeah.
And I love the callbacks to like Magneto being his dad and seeing Wanda and stuff.
Yeah.
My mom knew a guy who can move metal at one point.
That was the best line that everybody cracked up.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I get it."
You think that was Scarlet Witch with him sitting at the TV at the very
end? Yeah, but it's all that thing though. I have no idea what Fox and Marvel did to get to get Quicksilver in both films, but they must have done something. Also, speaking of first-time characters, I wanted more Bishop because Bishop's
Yeah.
It was so unfortunate. He hardly did anything in the movie, as much as you wanted Bishop to do.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of happy that they didn't put Cable in this movie.
I think they're saving him for the next one.
Cable.
Maybe.
Oh, he was in this movie. So was
He
Nick
was?
Gray. You know the scavenger kid at the beginning, the one with grey hair.
That was
Like,
Cable?
grey hair.
That was Cable?
It's Nate Gray, his alternate universe counterpart,
Oh, right.
and he was at the end when Logan woke up.
Yeah.
All right then.
I like. Can I just say this? I actually agree with what Smith Trilby said about this film. Like the guy, Bryan Singer, would be good for doing a Portal movie after what he did with Blink.
Yeah. That was
I was thinking that.
Those were some of the best effects I've seen in an X-Men movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not hard to beat Origins Wolverine, to be fair.
Let's not talk about that one. Yeah.
If we're talking about effects, I still don't like the effect of Colossus. He's too shiny. He's still too shiny for me. He needs to be matte, doesn't have to be made. I guess I know, basically, because I know he's made. Yes, this is food powers. He can turn into metal practically. But in the comics, he wasn't shiny, obviously, because it would cost way too much money to make him shiny in every single bloody panel that he's in. But it just looks better, I think, as matte than just shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny objects.
If they put a freaking shirt on him, maybe. You get everything is shining.
Yeah. Ellen Page, I like how they twisted because in the original Days of Future Past story, it was originally supposed to be Kitty Pryde that goes back in time, but because it would be in the 70s and her age, technically she wouldn't be alive by that time.
Yeah.
But they never really explained how she got that power, but
no, that's the one thing that bothered me.
Yeah. I guess it's just one of those things, just
Okay, she has this power now. All right, well, I guess we're going with it.
any of you going to tell us how? No.
I mean, it would make sense if they mixed it with Magneto and Professor X's powers.
Yeah.
To some degree.
No, they did explain why yeah, I mean, I have to say what else? Another bit of a problem. Actually, no, not a problem. I was just say, for a PG-13 movie, this had some pretty gruesome parts into it.
There was a lot of decapitations.
Hugh Jackman coming back from the past. Scene. We got to see Hugh Jackman in all of his glory.
He's a player.
The thing is, though, most women love Hugh Jackman, so that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I would say, stuff like, decapitation, people getting split in two, someone getting their arm chopped off.
Oh, yeah.
Some getting stabbed with giant fucking pole arms 3 times.
For a PG-13 movie, they don't hold back. They got away.
No.
Well, it wasn't that graphic, so I understand.
No, that's the thing, though. If there wasn't blood, that's probably how they got away with it, because there wasn't any blood.
Yeah.
But if
they crushed ice with Colossus, it was his metals,
you
didn't really get that Resident Evil kind of gruesome.
Because if it was blood, then this would have been gruesome as all hell. This would have been like something you'd see in a like a Kill Bill movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was really, but not saying that's a bad point. It just caught me off guard. I was like, wow, okay then.
Oh, I didn't expect him to die so soon. I mean, this is 3 minutes in the movie. Oh, wait, they redid it. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. And for once, I kind of like the time how they base this, because technically speaking, this movie does do the reset button. It does it hugely.
Yeah.
It reboots the entire franchise without actually being a reboot in and of itself.
Biggest cleanup I've ever seen of a
horrible I like the fact that they use the scenes from was it X-Men 3 and
an Origin?
I think they took
Last
scenes
Stand.
from all the previous movies, little short clips to show that we're erasing these now.
Yeah, but apart from
that.
but I kind of love that scene. How it deliberately showed scenes from Last Stand and Origin. He goes, "No, I don't want this." It's like,
Neither do we.
Now you know our pain. Oh dear, it was so much fun. That was like a lovely little nod there, and again, there was a brilliant. I think. Can I tell you what my favorite scene in the whole movie was? My favorite sequence was where Magneto's going to basically all the cameras saying, "I can show you my power," and then it cuts back to the future and basically what this course, him thinking that he's doing the right thing, is going to lead to. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of love that. I mean, it just because it basically shows like Magneto going, mutants will control you and all that sort of stuff, and then it cuts to the future where everyone's dying.
Oops.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
I will say this about the actor who played the young Magneto. This was the Magneto that everyone wanted to see because
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you see Ian McKellen played, you don't want him to be like that really evil bad guy
Because it's Ian McKellen.
He's
he's
Gandalf.
so likable. But with this Magneto, he was exactly what the comics first envisioned him. He was bad. He was ruthless. He was just you don't want to mess with this guy.
But he's not like, you know, he's not I wouldn't say he's a monster, if you know what I mean. Like he's a gentleman villain, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's not a mustache twirler.
Yeah.
No.
Like again, I love the scene with him and Xavier talking where they're playing the chess. Well, on the plane.
It always seemed like they play chess in every movie they're in.
They do, because that's what they do.
Do they ever finish?
You can imagine they do, but they just never show. I mean, it's not as much as awesome it would be. I don't think that would be a very engaging movie. As Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart as Professor X and Magneto just playing a game of chess.
I'd see
I'd watch it.
I'd see it.
I'd watch it. It'd be funny.
You two are gods, and I will happily watch this.
We talking about Ian and Patrick or Xavier and Magneto now?
Both.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
I like just quick shout out to drugs that can suppress mutant abilities and you can walk again.
I think that was just like a way to symbolize like heroin and stuff.
Well, it was because they couldn't. Again, PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
We can't use real drugs, but we can use.
I don't think that was a metaphor for anything. I thought that was just a cheap way to get him to walk again because it'd be inconvenient to use to show the entire film.
No, it was.
The
It
whole
was
X-Men
actually. It was a
film's a
metaphor. It
metaphor.
was kind of a metaphor because again, this was showing like a broken. It was showing a broken Charles Xavier. So, naturally speaking, in the real world, most broken people would eventually turn to something addictive like a drug, and he became addicted to this drug because it made him walk again.
It was a good way to get people to like jump up in their seats. It's like, wait a minute, he can't walk. What the?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I first saw it. It's like he got shot in the last film. What the heck?
There's still a bullet in his spine. What the fuck?
That got taken out.
This is but these are magic. This is magic, basically curing paraplegic drugs.
It's a comic
In the
book movie.
70s.
Get away with it.
In the literally, and actually, I've just thought of this. I've just literally just thought of this now when you're talking about it. That's kind of being selfish, really, because he has this miracle drug.
No, well, here's the thing. It suppresses his mutant powers. What would it do to someone who didn't?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
He can't become a millionaire now.
Ah.
The
Nah,
Xavier
he's
School
Charles
looks like
Xavier.
it could use it. The Xavier School looks like it could use some funding in that film. Just from the outside.
Well, it's the 70s, so
Yeah, and
we know it gets better.
I kind of actually like how, again, because they did the reset button, it doesn't like, because if First Class was canon to the other X-Men movies, then you would kind of go, why is Mystique doing this stuff to Charles Xavier if they were like the best of friends?
Yeah.
The thing is, why did Mystique go rogue from Magneto? I mean, like, go rogue from Magneto, not become rogue from the comics.
I think it's because he went too far. Like, he was just killing innocent people towards the end.
Because she had
So killing an innocent person would be doing the right thing?
And remember in the movie, they said in Days of Future Past, they said that she'd never killed. She hasn't killed
Yeah.
anyone. The first person she would kill is
Trask.
Trask,
Yeah.
and that would officially turn her into Rogue. I mean Mystique. Sorry.
Oops.
Wait, then how does she become? How is she in the other films if she gets captured?
Again, they press the big reset button.
In this new timeline, I think the only movie that is still canon is First Class and some points of the other movies.
Yeah.
Because we've got a completely new timeline now. Where most of the
Yeah,
X-Men that were
it's-
killed are alive.
They pulled a new 52. Everything was getting far too convoluted.
But
Except
this
now
time
the
they know
changes
what they're
don't piss
doing.
Everyone off.
But but this time they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't just do it to make money. They actually figured out, hey, if we fix this, people will like us again.
Yeah. They didn't go. Hey, okay, things got way too complicated. We need to reboot the universe. Not, hey, Batman's really popular, so let's make everything like Batman.
Oh,
You know,
baby.
I've always wanted to make Wally West black. I don't know why. Let's just do it.
Yeah, and you know what? I always thought a Green Lantern should be gay. Let's just do it.
Let's have no reason for it. No development of his character. Just make him gay. No reason.
Yeah. How can we
Okay.
How can we prove that Joker's insane? The simple
Let's cut his
manipulation.
face off and
Yeah.
then have him wear his
Of
face
course.
with.
Because nobody knows he's insane yet.
How can we show that how can we make the Amazon race of women a completely nice and likable race that you want to root for? I know. Let's make them all rapists.
Genius.
You didn't read that, did you?
No, what?
No.
Apparently in one of the Wonder Woman comments they said that the Amazons used to hijack ships and rape all the men on the boat.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What
I do.
the fuck?
It's realistic. No, it's not.
Because that's what
That's supposed to be realistic.
because I don't know who wrote it, but I was going, because that's what would happen if women have power.
They'd have sex. Of course.
Frank Miller was writing it.
Was he?
No, I was joking. I'm just
Or
saying.
Scott Lobdell.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Still bitter about Scott Lobdell. Hey, how can we turn one of the most happy, joyous characters into a complete No, I'm not going into that territory. I have.
Alex, at least it wasn't Frank Miller who did
Dick
it.
Save that
Grayson's
for
a
our
spy
time.
now.
Yes, Dick
We all-
Grayson is a spy now.
We all hate Scott Lobdell, Alex. We all do.
I haven't read before people. I haven't read the new Red Hood and the Outlaws comic.
I stopped at like 29 because I was just fed up with it.
I thought with a new writer because Scott Lobdell left after 15, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was after the Death of the Family arc he left.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying it was as bad as Lobdell's. It's just it didn't interest me as much. The characterization, it just still didn't interest me. It was still making me kind of upset, so I kind of just left.
The thing is,
Yeah.
they should just give Jason like a solo book, not one where he needs a team. Because the
Oh.
whole
We're getting far too off topic.
I don't care. We're ending this We're finishing this conversation.
What were you talking about?
My
Fantastic
thing is, it shouldn't be Arsenal and Starfire. It should be someone like Ravenger and.
Yeah.
Thank
Or
you.
maybe one of the Robins. Like that.
No, because I don't see any other because Jason Todd's an asshole.
I ship Robin and Starfire. That is it.
And yes, I do ship Nightwing and stuff. I do ship Nightwing and Starfire because it's actually a competent relationship, for fuck's sake. But anyway,
He'll post his fanfics in the description below.
I can't post my fanfics in the description below. They're not allowed
It's
to be.
not an appropriate place.
They're the person who the person who wrote My Immortal will go, Jesus.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, excellent.
You don't know what My Immortal is, do you?
a song.
No,
Okay, we got
it's
into
a
reboot.
notorious fan fiction. Like it's one of the worst fan fictions ever.
So,
it's
what
a-
did you guys think of the Sentinels in this?
I thought the look I wasn't into, but they were scary. Yeah, I'll give them that. They were mildly scary for an X-Men film.
It's a
They
Harry
were
Potter.
unstoppable.
It's a Harry Potter fanfic. Anyway, yes.
The vampire one.
Don't ask questions.
I wasn't so sure about the future Sentinel design, but they made sense. Again, they explained it well.
Mm.
Did anybody think disco balls whenever they saw them transform? Like,
Yeah. But it's the 70s, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
Dude.
I did like the past, like the first prototype Sentinels. They actually look like the Sentinels from the comic, but
Those look pretty good.
apart from the fact,
They look like toy robots that ran on AA batteries.
They looked 70s-ish.
Yeah.
And also, actually, this is a little thing that I liked about it. Also, was saying, let's bring in the Sentinels. How can we make sure that we don't tarnish the representation of any kind of president by bringing in the Sentinels? I know, Richard Nixon.
Hey, after Futurama, anything with Richard Nixon should be allowed.
Now, if Richard Nixon was voiced by the guy who did the one from Futurama, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect.
By the way, Mark Camacho played Richard Nixon. Just saying.
Did he?
All right.
I have no idea who he is.
They should have made Richard Nixon like Mecha Hitler and just had his head on a Sentinel.
Because that
This movie.
Mecha Nixon.
I was what?
Sequel to Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer.
Richard Nixon, Robot Man, RoboCop.
Okay. You can make a movie.
So the ending.
What, the post-credit ending or just...
No, I mean like the resolution to everything.
I really like the cameos.
Yeah.
So do I.
Especially Kelsey Grammer, because Kelsey Grammer to me is Beast. Like, he's
Yeah.
just the I mean, not to say the guy who played Young Beast didn't do a bad job, he did a very good job. But Kelsey Grammer just is Beast to me.
I was pleasantly surprised when I saw him for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I went through 9 hours of makeup for that one scene. Hello, Logan. And I'm done. Where's my
And
paycheck?
I'm done.
Time for history class.
Also, I
brilliant
would have
thing for him
been,
to be teaching.
I would have loved again if like he walked past and then one of the kids shouted, "Ah, it's Sideshow Bob!"
Oh my god.
Oh.
No,
Just dye his hair red.
but no. Fam Kajensen, which is a name I only remember because it's just so stupid. Again, I think she's not the Phoenix yet, so she's not that, whatever that was.
Yeah. Although they might have Nate Grey in the next one. It's Apocalypse.
At least now they're giving a chance to actually give her a character instead of just the female.
I'm evil.
Yeah. They might they because of this reboot, they actually have a chance to build these characters now instead of just killing them off.
Which was one of the stupidest things in Last Stand.
Xavier didn't have the chance to go all Inception on her.
Yeah, and also
which wasn't Bryan Singer.
And also what made the Phoenix Saga was she wasn't like just pure evil, like she was tortured, like she basically kept on flipping.
Yeah.
In this,
by godly force.
Yeah. In Last Stand, she was, I'm evil. I am evil.
I'm sorry. All this makeup is just hurting my face. Help me.
By the way, the only way you can that Last Stand is actually watchable is if you watch the riff tracks of If you don't know what riff tracks is, it's the people who did MST3K, and they basically do what they do now, but with modern films, and they did it for Last Stand.
I just have a bottle of whiskey. That helps me get through it every time.
Because
you hate it far too much, then.
I like superhero elves.
Basically, that opening line for when they're doing the riff tracks of Last Stand is X-Men 3 Last Stand, the film that went, hey, Superman Returns, you call that sucking?
We want Bryan Singer back.
I will say, X-Men Last Stand is a terrible movie, but it had some really good parts into it that should have just been in better films.
The bridge scene. Like when he lifted the bridge.
Yes. And again, Kelsey Grammer is
just good.
Yeah. Kelsey Grammer is beast again, but
That was the best part of the movie.
but then they got just so much wrong. Like, I don't care what people say. I hated Vinnie Jones as Juggernaut.
He's the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, it's Juggernaut.
And you know how people go say, "Oh, the British accents are always better." Vinnie Jones doesn't help that case because he was originally a footballer, soccer player. For you Americans,
Although he was very violent.
Yeah. Oh dear. Like, what else did they fuck him in last? Okay, killing half the cast because.
Oh, yeah,
which turned out to be meaningless.
Yeah. How can we show our character arcs? By killing them.
We got rid of Magneto and Xavier, but not really.
Yeah. It would have been great if at the end scene of Last Stand when Magneto does his thing and it looks like he's got his powers back. What would be great if he just panned and someone accidentally knocked the chessboard. It's like, oh, sorry, mate.
Oops.
Sorry, it's like. Which again, this is the one compliment I give to X-Men Last Stand. At least they did an after-credit thing where they said, "Oh no, Professor X isn't dead. He's not dead."
That wasn't in all of them, though.
Oh,
I remember.
Go on.
That's actually a good point that you bring that up, Alex. That is one thing they never truly explained, is how Professor X actually came back.
Oh, apparently, I heard there was an after-credit scene or something in the.
There was an after-credit. There is an after-credit scene in Last Stand that does show it, but there's a lot of fan theories.
What happened was that he transferred his mind and would alter people's perceptions of what he looked like from his new body.
He was a mental image for everyone, basically.
But
an awful way to bring him back.
Yeah.
Well, I guess considering that he came back in a wheelchair at the end of the Wolverine, he pretty much lucked out in getting someone who had the exact same issues that he did.
They were in a coma, I think they were in a car crash or something.
Yeah, by the way, don't bother staying for any of the X-Men post-credit scenes. They add up to nothing and just make you confused.
Apart from this one.
At the end of the Wolverine, how does that add up to this film at all?
Because they're talking about the great threat that's coming.
No, what they were doing, they were basically talking about Sentinels, but what they were basically doing was going fan service.
Yeah.
That was probably the beginning of that whole Days of Future Past timeline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But actually no, it does, because it still doesn't make any sense because.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. It doesn't add up at all. Because
if that was the case, then Mystique would have been captured in the 70s. But then, so how could she have been in X-Men 1, 2, 3?
This is why they made the movie. This is why they pressed the reset button. Because
now we don't have this problem anymore. No one's confused
That
anymore.
after-credit scene doesn't exist anymore.
Yep, None of them do. God knows what they're going to do with Apocalypse, because I'm kind of annoyed but excited with how. Yes, the after credit scene was very good. It was a very good after credit scene, but I was just kind of like, hang on a minute, Apocalypse is a young boy. Why is he a young boy?
Oh, they showed him when he was a kid in Egypt before he grew up, and then got all the celestial armor and stuff.
That's probably how they'll explain it.
Do you think they will do the alien technology part?
No,
I don't think they will.
I don't know.
Well,
I just have to wait and see because we haven't really heard anything about this film yet.
Because Phoenix was in the comics, she's an alien. The Phoenix Power is an alien.
Oh, it's like a godly force like Galactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they really nerfed her in the film,
We'll just have to wait and see because there's 5 more Marvel movies coming out in between then.
We have Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 2,
Amazing Spider-Man 3.
No, that's coming in 2016, so that doesn't really count. We have Ant-Man, and then
oh god,
we don't have the roster really for 2016, do we?
Well, we got Batman
not
versus
officially.
we got Batman versus Superman, and
No, I'm talking about Marvel.
Captain America 3 is
Yeah.
coming out the same day as Batman vs Superman, which is just
Oh,
a
yeah.
case of I'm going, who is going to budge first?
I'm sorry, Captain America. I'm gonna see this movie. Sorry.
But do you know, I honestly think Batman vs Superman will probably budge first. Because DC have got, Marvel have got this down to a science of how to make a Marvel film.
DC is trying at least.
Do you feel there's kind of an oversaturation in superhero films?
Oh
Also,
yeah,
to be fair, it's much better to not try and not burn up in flames than
Yeah.
to not try at all.
yeah. I mean, it did. Yeah, I know.
I
get what
messed
you
that up,
said.
but you get my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. But it kind of happened last time. There was like a ton of superhero films, but then they just became crap. And
Yeah.
then it just died out, and there really hasn't been that.
like Steel or Constantine
Yeah.
or old movies like that tried to do the superhero thing, but
The
a new
Phantom.
take. It just all. Oh, don't even talk about that one. That is not a superhero.
Unbreakable.
Yeah. But there hasn't been like that. Well, Batman and Robin.
Ugh, no.
There hasn't been that Batman.
Superman 3 and 4.
Yeah. There has. Well. Okay, Superman 3 had its good points and also terrified the crap out of me when I was a kid. That scene in Superman 3
Mm-hmm.
where the woman gets turned into a robot? That scared the shit out of me as a kid. Oh.
Okay, now we transcended to DC, and since we've listed the Marvel movies, just how many DC movies are coming in between that?
They released
One.
their roster recently.
Yes. They're
Yeah,
doing
they
a Justice
released the
League.
movie
They're
lineup.
doing a Justice League movie before they do a Wonder Woman movie.
What?
I
Yeah,
think they're
I'm-
going to do like that as a setup to all the other
I'm
characters.
skeptical of that one. They'll probably do like her origin like after the Justice League. Like they'll introduce her in the Batman, Superman, and the Justice League, and
Hang
actually
on.
get into her character after that.
Oh,
Never
yeah,
mind,
because-
they have just about half of the Justice League members in the Batman and Superman
Yeah.
movie. They have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Cyborg in that film. Just
Oh,
saying.
because
I'm down
Bill
for
does not
that now.
agree with.
because God forbid they give her her own film to build character on before they introduce
doesn't-
her.
I think
It's
they're
not a
going
re-
backwards from
Yeah.
Marvel.
That was the
Alex.
strongest point about the Avengers, which I keep on saying is what DC are missing, is because Marvel made the members of the Avengers have their own movie first, so they could build the character, introduce them, so they didn't have to
Build up.
spend half of the Avengers going, "Hey, these are these superheroes."
Alex, you don't understand. She's not recognizable enough for her to have her own film yet. So she won't
Yo.
make instant money.
I know you're just saying that to make me mad.
No, I'm saying
Let's
that because
remember,
that's the
Amazonians
that's
are
the
rapists.
process of what they're doing. I'm not saying that to get you mad. I'm
Yeah.
saying realistically, that's their thought process.
It's literally. I'll keep on. I'll reference this again. Again, if you look at the Nostalgia Critics review of Cat in the Hat, he's literally got like. It's. I just feel like this is going. These making the DC movies in Warner Bros. They're like, well, if you look at the chart,
Stop with the chart.
Although Aquaman's in the new one coming out.
yeah, played by the guy from Game of Thrones as well.
Wait,
Which is
what?
gonna
Probably
be-
just gonna,
the
they
guy
said he's
played
probably just
Khal
going to have like a
Drogo.
cameo.
Yeah.
Wait. What?
Aquaman's being played by the guy who played Khal Drogo out of Game of Thrones, which is going to be badass.
Andy
Wait,
was.
what is he
Andy
gonna
was.
be in?
He was going to be Aquaman. He's Aquaman.
He's the guy who also
Ah.
played the new Conan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
But we don't.
As
We
any
don't.
testament
We
to his
don't.
acting
yeah.
abilities.
Yes, he plays Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ah.
I will eat you.
Put that cookie down.
What's the line he says in Conan?
He
To ki-
screams.
To kill your enemies, to drive them before you, and the lamentation of the women. And I can't do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wrong.
Aye.
what did everybody get for trailers, by the way?
I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again. Screw that movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it though. I'm half and half on it. It looks good, but I'm afraid it's gonna fall to the same problems that Transformers did. It's gonna focus on the humans and not what everyone came to see.
It's produced by Michael Bay and it's got Megan Fox in it.
Yeah.
and Johnny
that's
Knox
gonna
and Johnny Knoxville is playing the voice of Leonardo.
Say what?
I am not kidding. That is true.
happen. Yeah.
That's appropriate, but
And
Still
apparently
gonna
they came from space or something.
No, they scrapped that.
Oh, thank Christ.
Speaking of Ninja Turtles, how many of you are at least knowledgeable about the new Nickelodeon show?
We don't actually get it in. No, sorry, we do get it in the UK, but I don't have the channel. I don't have the channel that shows it, so I can't really watch it. But from what I hear, it's actually pretty good.
It is very good. But for the coming event, they're actually replacing the actor who voices Leonardo
with Seth Green. But I thought he left. It wasn't that they're just replacing him. I heard he left.
Well, he's leaving probably for his movie career or something. And I am skeptical about Seth Green because he's such a recognizable voice. But
he's actually a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja TMNT fan.
It's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's we'll have to see what because he's a good voice actor as well, though. That's the thing, though.
He played Joker out of Mass Effect.
Yeah, and if they finally do this Mass Effect movie, he better play Joker.
The things with Mass Effect movie, I don't want them to focus on Commander Shepard because if you do that, you're basically just giving the finger to fans who chose Shepard as a different kind of person.
And how can I best put this? Commander Shepard isn't the best character in Mass Effect.
Oh no, but he hasn't got a set who he is or she is.
Do you know what I've always wanted to see in a Mass? Because they did that Mass Effect anime with that guy the new character that no one really liked.
Yeah, Vega.
Awesome.
I want it to be like if they ever do like an anime or something like that. I want it to be like when they did Halo Legends, where they did like separate stories. Because there are so many stories I wanted to see. I wanted to see how Rex got in charge of the Krogan. How I wanted to see what happened with Tali after Shepard died. After Mass Effect when.
Yeah, and
Garrus as Archangel. Who else?
Anderson in the pre-contact war and Elusive Man in that war.
Yeah. So Jack. Basically, Jack's trauma is Jack's Subject Zero. Yeah. Not you, Jack. Jack, there's a character in Mass Effect called Jack.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't follow Mass Effect at all.
Mass Effects, neither do I.
Yeah, I'm pretty much drawing a blank here.
You should play. It's such a good trilogy. Apart from the last 5 minutes of the third game, it's one of the best gaming trilogies ever.
That completely fixes that. It's amazing.
It's got some of the best characters in video gaming.
Inquisition's coming out this year as well.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
I'm not a Dragon Age fan, so I can't really do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see. We have what other trailers? I got Interstellar. Did you get that?
Yeah.
I did not. It looks good though.
Yeah, but it looks like it's falling into the traps of so many Christopher Nolan films, which is symbolism.
Alex doesn't like Christopher Nolan. Just for anybody who hasn't picked that up yet.
I don't
get it.
I don't like recent Christopher Nolan, which is
like what? Oh, well, Man of Steel, yeah.
Man of Steel.
What else has he done? That's
Dark Knight Rises.
No, it's not.
Didn't he do that movie about that guy dressed up as a bat?
No, I don't recall.
Nah.
Because
I was at
Never mind. That new Nutty Professor film.
I want him to do a Naughty Professor film.
Yes, that one.
But as you see, he's fat because it symbolizes the growing greed of the corporate America.
It's funny, ha!
I just see Interstellar. I just see Interstellar. Because again, it's basically doing it. If you don't, I don't know what, but I just see like Occupy Wall Street written all over Dark Knight Rises.
The thing is, I don't really mind symbolism in comics because that's what comics are. They've always been.
But not when it slams.
Always been symbolized of equality.
Yeah, but they've also been fun too.
But not when it slams it in your face, like it's going. Do you get the message now?
Yeah, just put it in the back of your head.
Being Batman is hard.
Oh, wait, Alex, I just remembered this. You know the what is this? Nostalgia Critics review of Man of Steel. You know the I am Jesus thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
In your mind, whenever you're watching Christopher Nolan film, I can only imagine you just thinking, "I am Nolan."
Yeah.
I am Nolan.
Look how smart I am.
Praise me.
Look how smart I
created
am.
Batman.
I get all this symbolism. You
I understand
lower
where you're coming
beings.
from Man of Steel, but nothing else.
I just see that happening with Interstellar. Because it just seems like that perfect thing where he's going to shove symbolism down your throat. Like how it's about, how they even say in the trailer, oh, it's going to be, we don't need any more tech people, we just need farmers to grow crops. So it's like going, save the environment! Save the environment!
You're thinking about it way too much.
And here I am, just sitting in the movie theater eating my popcorn. Okay.
If you were going to follow the Spider-Man meme, I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
There's like 70,000. I don't know. I might have been and not have known it. Oh wait, now I know. I can't
You know
hear
the-
the comments.
Everyone's complaining about this, and I'm just sitting here masturbating.
One
I
of
was
Michael
just-
Jackson too. But hey, at least the X-Men movies were fun.
I mean, for God's sake, one of the characters in the Interstellar is called Murphy, and they're literally going because of Murphy's law. I'm so funny.
I think that's just a coincidence.
No, it's Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
It's never coincidence with Christopher Nolan.
I am Nolan. I think you're thinking about it far too much, to be completely honest.
It's Nolan. He wants you to think about it.
Yeah, which I like about films
My
sometimes.
brain hurts.
I got Transformers as my trailer. The
So
only
did I.
trailer I got.
You know
You
what?
got one trailer.
I'm actually
you?
excited for that one.
At least we don't have Shia LaBeouf, who's not famous
That
anymore.
is the one up.
No,
That is
no,
the
no,
best
no,
upside
no,
of the
no.
film.
But here's a bad
No,
point
no.
for you.
No, none of that anymore. I'm an 18-year-old that sounds like a 14-year-old.
And somehow get ridiculously hot women.
Optimus!
No. Oh, fuck off.
Right. We get it. You're socially awkward. You've been playing that
Yeah.
game since Even Stevens.
And
Stop it.
can I also say, Shia LaBeouf's character in Transformers 3 was an enormous dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very. Just not as likable as they were playing him up to
as
be.
in a bad person, or a dick as in why are you on screen?
Pick one.
As in, just sheer hatred for the character, because he was just being such an unlikable douche. I said, I saved the world 2 times and you don't even know. You did jack shit.
Oh, by the way, this new Transformers film has the same thing why the government doesn't like the Transformers. We don't need you anymore. We need to get rid of you now. This happened in the last...
Did you forget
The
that
last
these
2
giant
films have not
robots can
given
step
us
on you?
yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at least I like how at least they're doing Galvatron and the Dinobots.
Yeah.
And Galvatron
Dinobots look great.
and Galvatron actually turns into a gun.
Yeah, which is pretty
Jurassic
good.
Park
They need
4.
to have I Got the Touch from the first movie,
Yeah.
animated
You
movie.
get the touch. What else? Also, again, Mark Wahlberg. But the thing is with Mark Wahlberg, he has to be. Mark Wahlberg's at his best when he actually gives a crap about the movie.
Yeah.
Like if you see, he's a good actor, but like if you see him in like The Happening, he doesn't give a shit in that movie. He's just
No,
here for the
man.
paycheck. What?
Guys,
No.
I think we found a transformer.
Yeah. Here's another. You know his daughter in this movie is played by the woman who played Katara in the last Airbender movie.
Brought that
Oh,
up
really?
to you. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I still don't like her.
I tried to erase that movie
Yeah.
from my memory.
So let's see if she's had any acting lessons since her last appearance on the screen.
She actually has. She's been in both seasons of Bates Motel.
Ah, robot! Ah,
Leave him alone.
I'm scared. Can you tell? I'm
Yeah, that's
hot.
more emotion that she puts into her acting than all of Megan Fox's acting in the new trailers for
Yeah.
Teenage
She's
Mutant
got a
Ninja
slim
Turtles.
body and puffy lips. That's the only reason she's
Yeah,
in
that
movies.
again, that shows you that something's wrong. If there's been 2 trailers for TMNT now and she hasn't said a word.
They're the same trailer, just saying, but
You're right. She hasn't said anything. She's just held up a phone.
Like because
I'm surprised.
that kind of shows like because people who have watched like that's just kind of a bad thing because when it shows like that means that the guys are going yeah, she's not that good.
They couldn't even put her in like a red wig or something. Like, would that have cost like an extra what, $10?
Yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
so hard to do?
And for God's sake, I mean, this is the one time where putting a character in a skin-tight jumpsuit is actually staying truthful to the actual character.
And you don't do it. Michael Bay.
The
You
one
don't think
time,
Megan Fox is a great actor, just saying.
the one time that you can exploit your sheer sexism of women, and you don't do it.
He's just a producer. He's not even directing.
Yes.
Which makes it... Why is he giving her money?
Well, that just means he has more power to change it. And he's not doing it.
Maybe
think he
he
cares.
knows this will ruin her movie career forever. That's why
She did
it.
Jonah Hex, and that did... She's...
Okay, good point.
They have been at odds for a while, so...
She called him the Hitler of the film industry. Of course
Yeah,
they
and
are.
one movie later, she's working with him again. What the heck?
And this is the one
And what
time...
does she do after that? I'm looking that up. Hang on.
What did she do after that? A couple of dudes.
Oh, snap.
I'm gonna walk away now.
She needs to go to the Pokemon and get a burn heal.
I'm
Oh,
funny.
she did 3 films. The director, she did some of Robot Chicken, and This Is 40. That's it.
She was in Rob. She was.
Oh, she did the DC... She was Wonder Woman in the DC special of...
No, she was Lois Lane. No, she was Lois Lane.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
I knew she was in it. I heard her voice. I just didn't know for sure. I need
You
to watch
didn't
it
want to
again.
hear her.
The last thing I saw her in was an advert for was for an advert saying Megan Fox is a scientist who wants to. Yes, it literally was. Megan Fox is a scientist
Nobody listens to her when they're on screen. They just look at her.
who wants to.
Oh, was it scientist or Scientologist?
No, she was a scientist. That's 2 burns for Megan Fox.
Back to the Pokemon.
But it's like, no, she was a scientist. She literally said Megan Fox is a scientist who wants to communicate with dolphins. And this is an advert for a phone.
That's not possible. Dolphins are still smarter.
I know what you're talking about now. I think I saw that in the movie theater, and I was just shaking my head the entire time.
Here's the thing. That's not possible. Dolphins are far smarter than she is. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's
They
free.
can communicate.
It as much sense as when Arnold Schwarzenegger was in that Junior film where he was a scientist and got pregnant. It's like, no, that does not fit.
And you have Arnold Schwarzenegger in drag, and you do nothing with it.
No, there was no fun. Just like the Nostalgia Critic said, there was nothing funny about that movie.
You have Arnold Schwarzenegger. 1, a scientist. 2, pregnant. 3, in drag. And you do nothing with this.
With Danny DeVito. How many movies does he do with Danny DeVito? I think they're best friends, honestly.
I think they are.
I like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Is someone looking up for best friends?
It's probably true.
To be fair, I don't think it's possible to hate Danny DeVito to begin with.
Oh, I did get a trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy. I did get the new trailer.
There was a new one released in the UK. Does with Rocket Raccoon or
I saw that one.
Yeah, I am Groot.
I don't know why I didn't get Jason's. I mean, I like Bradley Cooper and stuff, but I don't understand why I didn't get like Jason Statham to play Rocket Raccoon.
Because it makes it all that more awesome that Bradley Cooper, an award-winning actor, is voicing a CGI raccoon.
Yeah. Again, going back to DC versus Marvel, you've seen that tweet. Oh, a Wonder Woman movie, that's just far too complicated for the viewing audience. Marvel, here's a raccoon with machine guns.
And a talking tree.
Oh, did you hear what David Goyer said about Martian Manhunter fans?
Oh, God.
What he said about She-Hulk.
Yes. Yeah. Fuck him.
What did he say?
He was basically saying if he wasn't it, he'll never call them that because it's stupid and stuff. It's just...
He basically said, and this shows how much he doesn't know comics.
Yeah, calling a guy Batman is not stupid.
No, this is how much he doesn't get. He doesn't know how much he doesn't know about comics. He said that. Oh, who left the call?
Huh?
No one.
Really? I just got the.
Oh, Austin's thing. Reset.
Oh, okay. He said. I can't remember what he said, but he basically said that She-Hulk was just there to be basically an eye candy for the viewer, and so that the Hulk can, and she can hook up with the Hulk. Now, if you know
They were
comics,
cousins.
if you again, yeah,
Incest is wincest.
oh god, yeah, because you know, if you're writing superhero film, the one thing you want to do is piss off the people who will watch your movie.
Yeah, it's.
By the way, speaking of sexist remarks, did you know that apparently James Gunn, the guy doing Guardians of the Galaxy, he got called out for basically saying women in comics are sexualized to all hell, and he was okay with that.
Well, for one, he has a point, but the point where he says,
No, wait, want to know why that makes sense?
yeah,
He was a writer for Lollipop Chainsaw.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's the thing. It makes again. I actually agree with his comics because it's true, but saying that he's okay with it is
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a bit
Shouldn't have.
wrong.
If you just left it at that, that would have been fine. But you know, I think Austin's gonna be checking his
He shall
internet.
return.
Yeah, but he's saying I mean, he's the writer for Guardians of the Galaxy. He's one of the writers for Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, it's saying.
Who, James Gunn? He is one of the writers, but he's
Yeah.
the director.
All right. Well, it's saying. Well, we got some Gamora, and I can't remember the name of the villain Catherine Gillan's playing. Amy
Pond.
You know, Catherine Gillan's playing the female villain in the movie.
Technically her aunt. What is her name? Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah. Yeah. So she's going to be saying as we'll see how he treats those characters. I mean, if he actually gives them characters, and one thing that did get me kind of annoyed and kind of worried was the fact that every time you see what's her name's credited, you know, Zoe Saldana. Every time we see her credited, it goes to her in her with a top off, basically.
Yeah.
It's like,
And Star Wars.
you really?
Also, he's changed Star-Lord in the most ridiculous way. Like, he has nothing like that in the comic books.
Well, one thing you gotta give the Marvel films that you gotta give Marvel films this. They have witty banter. I think that's just what they're trying to anyway. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, for like, I'm not necessarily a Guardians of the Galaxy
I've got
fan, but I can understand why they're pissed.
Yeah. I'm getting Austin back into it.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
Y'all
Technical
good, buddy?
difficulties because we can't have a single podcast without it.
No, that's half the fun.
Yeah.
My internet does that, folks. It just cuts out whenever it feels like.
Yeah. So that was. We have
Anyway,
to do
what
it
did I
once.
miss?
We were talking about Thingy's comment about She-Hulk, and then we moved on to Guardians of the Galaxy and how the guy
director made sexist comments also.
yeah.
He wrote Lollipop Chainsaw, but
Yeah.
so it's okay.
But saying his comment was women are over sexualized in comic books, which I agree with. He then said,
Eric.
and I'm okay with that. Now, if he didn't say that part,
I don't know if that's the exact quote, but that is what the basis of it was.
Well, half of everyone that works at DC agrees with that because they're still doing it.
yeah,
Just show them that one cover of Red Hood and the Outlaws with Starfire.
that one cover. There's
My bad. Any one of them. It's all good.
There's that panel as well, the infamous panel.
Oh yeah.
The infamous first issue and beyond that.
Yeah.
Which again, if you want, you know, for all you people who don't see my scripted stuff, if I've done a review of Red Hood and the Outlaws, if you want to see me at my angriest, and it's legitimate anger when I did record that one scene, watch my review of Red Hood and the Outlaws, because I am legitimately that pissed.
Yeah, but everything you pointed out in that review, I completely agreed with. I threw a complete storm with that comic. It is a surprise why I haven't shredded every issue that I have right now.
Ugh.
Because you spent X amount of money on it, and you can't get that refunded.
Yeah.
Then again, there is eBay. No, nobody would buy it.
No, it's the internet. Someone would buy it.
Scott
Hang on.
McKellen will buy it.
Hang on. Go on.
And again, it just baffles me again how that comic, which is a constant source of issues for DC, hasn't been cancelled. Yet they cancel something like Nightwing and the goods and like the actual genuine good comics. Well, at least they cancelled Teen Titans.
Yeah, but they're bringing
rebooted
it back
now.
as soon as they cancel it. So what's the point?
Yeah, but it's
The
not
thing is, they
it's not
fixed
Scott
it.
Lobdell writing it anymore. That's the thing.
My issue with them bringing it back was the artist who actually worked on the infamous first issue cover of that issue took a hit at the spin-off comic of the animated series Titans, and he said that because it was based on the animated series, it got canceled. Half of the New 52 has been canceled before their 20th issue, and you're going to poke at a comic that got to issue 55 that was actually good?
Yeah. And
By the way,
I mean, and God forbid the other Teen Titans comic that they've got, you know, the one based on the other animated show, which everyone loves, is doing so much better.
That's
Nobody's
a comic book
buying it.
series.
I don't know anyone that is buying that comic book.
I know there is. I actually legitimately can't find the sales numbers for that comic, and there are actual
Does it
sites that
have any?
post sales numbers for comics, and it was one of the saddest things. I looked on Tumblr and I actually following one of his like. Someone reblogs like, is there any Teen Titan Go comic fans out there? I'm doing there's a signing and you can get the signed copy of the issue at this comic book store, and it just showed a picture of all loads of other comics sold, but those ones were just hadn't been touched. There was just a row of it, and no one had touched it.
they should have just gone there with they should have just gone there with a Marvel comic and had them sign it.
But anyway, we'll save this for like a future Titans talk.
Yes. Which, speaking of which, I need to get that set up as well. You haven't been on it one yet, have you, Austin?
No, the last time we had it, I had a conflicting schedule with Andrea because I went into work when she got off, so I had to miss it. But I can try and get the next one.
Yeah. I also need to do my 2,000 subscriber Cards Against Humanity game, which that keeps on getting canned.
And do it on your own time.
Do it on my time. I want to do it with you guys, for God's sake.
Anyway.